what is Congo for you?
To me, it's a joyful place.
Full of everything that we need. Most of the time, I call it a continent.
It's more about pointing fingers, like who is behind this, who is doing this, and who and who and who. And at this point, I don't feel like this is important. What's most important is what are we doing about it?
You don't know what to do, how to do it.
Was for the first time of my life that I was like so scared.
You cannot say that they're not Congolese just because they speak a given language.
I wouldn't have Rwandese either to tell us how to feel. I think that part is kind of messed up a little bit.
Imagine a land so rich in resources that it can power the entire world. Diamond, gold, coltan, forests, rivers, everything you can think of. A place with beautiful landscape, vibrant culture, and some of the most resilient people on the planet. And yet, despite all the wealth, it has been at the center of one of the most complex and controversial conflicts in modern history. Welcome back to Inspective, guys. My name is Nate, and today we have guests in the room, like usual. Thank you guys for coming. So introduce yourself first so that we can continue with the discussions. Yeah.
My name is Aksanti Kabuzi Paul, and I'm from the Democratic Republic of the Congo, precisely from Goma. Yeah, exactly.
Goma.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. What about you?
And my name is Dolores, and same, I'm from the Congo, from Kinshasa.
Kinshasa, the capital.
Correct.
That's great, guys. Thank you very much for coming as well. First, I wanted to ask you, before we go to the questions, which everybody's waiting for, I wanted to ask you, what is Congo for you as a country, as a citizen of that country? What is Congo for you guys? Let's start with the lady.
Okay, Congo for me is home, obviously. It's like, it should be my go-to place whenever I need to like reset, to start over. So yes, it's home.
Yeah, that's that's great.
I mean, same here. I mean, Congo for me, it's more of where I wish every time to, like, it's the place where I would love to always implement what I think is right. Like, it's where I want to be part of the change and everything that's it is in. Yeah. So it's more of above being home. It's also that. Yeah.
That's perfect description, guys. And also, I wanted to ask you, besides Congo being your home, what is Congo beyond the conflict?
Yeah, lady first.
I mean, to me, it's a joyful place. Actually, it's, I would say, bright in its way. It's a place where you always hear music. People are always cheerful. It's really hard to like be sad in there. I don't know if you know what I mean. It's just like we have happy people. So what makes a place a happy place are the people, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
For me, Democratic Republic of Congo, actually, beyond the conflict and whatever thing that's going on, I might describe Congo like a very strong and beautiful, let's say, girl or woman. So let's say it's full of everything that we need. Most of the time, I call it a continent. Yeah, and I was discussing with Dolores, and she said actually that it's like even well positioned in Africa. It's in the middle, the very middle. The other thing is we have a beautiful forests in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and my city where I'm from, for example, in Goma, we have even small island. That's the islands that's very wonderful. places like Chegera and Masisi, it's really beautiful. And when you see other things like the culture itself, the music, of course we are known from that, but we even have other things like a lot of beautiful things. I cannot describe all of them, but yeah, I mean it's a beautiful place.
You said it yourself. It's like a continent.
Yeah, exactly.
I've read about it before I come here and talk with you guys. I wanted to know more about Congo, so I've read about how it's rich with resources, and also with the beautiful landscapes, the forests. It's not for travel destination for many people, which is outside, and that's really great to hear from you guys as well. So going into the real questions that everybody wants to hear about, I wanted to ask you, what is the misunderstood things about the conflict which is going on right now? Which is, people are talking about it on the internet, of course. But what do you feel like, which is the thing which is not talked about?
The thing that should have been placed as priority is the humanitarian point, right? Normally, we're talking about gold, diamond, we're talking about the coltan and everything that's is somehow, in some point, maybe the reason of the conflict itself, but we're not talking much about how many people we have been losing during this conflict. So for now, let's say more than 3,000 in Goma, 3,000 people were killed, and within like the 3 past weeks in Goma, it was like bodies down on the street, blood, and we're focusing on the other part that is not really important. Let's say when it comes to losing life and losing, let's say, mineral and something like that, it feels like human beings are mostly focusing on things than people, than life itself, and that's kind of sad. Of course, it's important because I think Thomas Jefferson said that the tree of liberty should be poured by blood, but yet we should think somehow that maybe there's some ways to be done differently. So to answer the question, the number of people that are being killed in this conflict, and maybe the one that will be killed still, during this war, are let's say maybe overlooked in front of the international community and everything. Yeah.
What about you?
I personally think that this situation hasn't just started. It's not new. Like, it happened before. So from what I've been seeing on the internet and all, I feel like it's more about pointing fingers, like who is behind this, who is doing this, and who and who and who. And at this point, I don't feel like this is important. What's most important is, what are we doing about it? I personally don't really care about who is behind why or what. So the question is, what are you doing about it? And I thought, I wished we could have learned about the same situation when it happened in the past and try to find solutions for a longer term. So I feel like the solutions are only for short periods. And I think that on the internet, everybody talks, right? So I just read something and I come, switch on my camera and just say whatever. But I don't, people don't really know about the reality. As Axanti said, people don't know how many people are affected by this situation, right? But just because for the internet's sake, people are just talking. So yeah.
May I just come in with a quick question? So don't you think that identifying the root cause of the problem would be the way to find a permanent solution, long-term solution?
Yes, it is, but like at this point, it's not. We're not really trying to find the root. It's more about saying this person is behind that. So I think that's different. Like pointing fingers and first of all being sure that what we're saying is like true. It might be true, right? But like, okay, if you say it is because of A, B, or C. So then what? Thank you for the information. So what do we do about it? So I'm more about like, okay, now we know why we're facing this issue, right? So from there, where do we go? So it's more like this way.
Yeah, I mean, adding to that, like, talking about the root of the issue, it's known by everybody, and whoever would say that they don't know what's going on, I mean, especially the government or people, the authorities in Democratic Republic of Congo, they will be lying. The Africa, let's say the Central Africa, the eastern part, and I mean, let's say all the SADC country, they know what's going on, and we don't ignore what's going on. But as Dolores said, we need to find out and figure out how we're gonna let's say fix that. Talking about the history itself, all this started in the former time when there was war in Rwanda, and people, let's say refugees, came in Congo.
Yeah, we're talking about the genocide, right?
Yeah, and some others before.
Okay.
Some other before, even I think maybe even before 1960, and at a given point, the former presidents, they declared that whoever is on Congolese let's say land and origin, let's say his or she's refugee, will become automatically Congolese, and that's have been so that way, yeah. And at a given time, the same conflict that was in Rwanda started also low key in Congo. So and at a given time, those people who were in the former time refugees, let's say, wanted to be recognized as Congolese because the law said so, yeah. And at that time, some authority couldn't understand and accept that, you are Congolese as well. You should be treated so as Congolese, and things start from that time. Then there was this, let's say, there was a so-called CNDP. It was before led by Kunda Batkware, Laurent, and then I think there was some understanding and consensus with Congo, and then he left. And after that, there was this meeting in Nairobi, and it was in 2009. So it was 23rd March, which is the origin of the M23. Yeah, so at that time, there were things that were signed, yeah. But at this point, things are escalating. The allegations are a lot of them, yeah. Knowing who is behind, that's not the point. People are being killed, yeah. People are dying. We cannot just overlook that. That's my point on the root and the history itself, when it started and how it's going. Yeah, now it's after Goma been taken, now Bukavu, and I'm hearing that it's going in. They're going in Kalemi, and soon they will going further. They will be going and keep going. Yeah, I think there should be a room to conversation, discussion, to know what's going on. Like
That's right.
yeah.
And also, I wanted to talk about, since, yeah, like you said, there are a lot of people dying, and there's a lot of people life lost, and that's not being talked about. Everybody's focused on who's behind this, who started this, or that is the discussion going on, unfortunately, on the internet. So, and I know you're from Goma. You
Yeah.
introduced yourself. I wanted to ask you: have it personally affected you in your family or anything? This war, how has that been?
I mean, I will first tell you, like, I was in Goma in 2012 when it happened. We were in church praying, and then all of a sudden, it was no go mistaken. I mean, like, you don't know what to do, how to do it. No preparation. You don't know what's going on. Yeah. So it's M23. They information. I mean, the signed contract, or let's say document in March 2009 was not respected. So they are coming in Goma. I will tell you, it was a nightmare. Like, I mean, when I was in Goma at that time, it was a nightmare because you are hearing non-stop gun shoots, like, from the morning till the night. Like, you're feeling as if, no, I mean, like, anytime you can pass away. Yeah. And above that, people may be thinking that it's just something that's past. Okay, the war is end. Of course, my city, they're so resilient. Like, they come back again with strength and everything. But psychologically, what's going on? You've seen body down, yeah. You've seen blood. You were kept in one place for like maybe 3 days before even going out. It affects every and each one of us. And this one as well. My family is in Goma, and my friends. Some of my friends have been now being killed. You don't know who killed them. You don't know what's going on. You cannot point a finger that is M23. You cannot point a finger is the army of Congo. You will not know what's going on, but we are being affected. Yeah, like, fully.
What about you?
Since I was in the capital, we used to hear about things happening in Goma. Like, okay, this is happening in Goma and blah, blah, blah. And most of the times since we were not really affected, we didn't really care, right? Because, okay, it's like on that part of the country, so we hear, so nothing is really happening here, right? But this time, when I had my parents in Goma, when it all started, that's when I understood that it's probably like not a subject to just joke on. So I believe that it is really affecting families and all, because that was for the first time of my life that I was like so scared, always having my phone in my hands, waiting for them to call me and to let me know that they were okay. So trying to call them and no service on their side. So I was like, we've been like maybe saying it's wrong. It is like much more than we actually think that it is about. So I would say that it is something that we really need to talk about and to figure it out. Definitely.
Yeah, since it's affecting everybody right now, which is in Congo, and also it's spreading outside as well. Africa, I've never heard a time where we didn't have war in the continent. We always have conflicts, and I think this is at a point where we have to understand that is not the point that will take us to the place that we want to go, and a lot of lives have been lost. Like you said as well, it's personally affected you. Hearing from people who have been there and who have seen it, they have to know that it's not like something to joke about or to point fingers on. So about that as well, people on the internet saying that the M23 is led by the Rwandese or the Rwandans, which are taking aggression on Congo, trying to take the resources. Do you think that the people who are in Goma or who are directly affected in this war believe that it is Rwandese?
I mean, that question is a very nice question. If I should answer without doing any survey, if people from Goma think that it's Rwanda behind, if I say yes, I'll be lying to you. If I say no as well, I will be lying to you. But the thing that we should understand, I mean, like if I may answer as myself, that the war is being done with money somehow, yeah, and there might be someone behind that. I will be continuing to say the very first reason why the M23 was built was legit, yeah, but what it has become, it has to be verified if it's still the same reason why. Yeah. Just imagine people that were displaced came to Congo, from Rwanda to Congo, and low key, the same aggression that was in Rwanda keep going in Congo. But then, I mean, it was neutralized somehow. But then after that, it was like those displaced people, refugee, were considered and accepted as Congolese. And they wanted to be treated as Congolese, which means not seeing me because I look like this, that you will tell, no, I'm not from here. Not because I speak this language, you will say that I'm not from here. Yeah. Then at that time, the authorities from the Democratic Republic of Congo, some of them were not recognizing them as Congolese, and that is where things started. So, which means that at a given time, if you say that I am, let's say, Polish, and then tomorrow you don't accept me to work as a taxi driver or let's say a bus driver, then you're doing wrong. Maybe I have a battle to fight. Yeah, of course, the beginning was legit. Now it might be still legit, but we have to verify.
You're saying there could be a different agenda behind it right now.
Could or couldn't be. So it has to be verified. A survey has to be done. Yeah. You know, like saying blindly that this, that, no. Myself, I have I've seen those people, displaced people, like let's say in my city during this few years, because there were like more than 2 million people that were displaced due to this conflict in Ruchuru, Masisi, and Kibumba. That is a small village nearby Goma. And we going to visit them, but you know, they were living without anything, almost anything. So we were collecting things here in Poland and other places to bring them even something, you know. But you know, we cannot say that they're not Congolese just because they speak a given language. In Congo, we speak more than 400 languages. I barely can point all of them, like let's say list all of them. I maybe know maybe some, like even the name, maybe 5 or 20. It depends, but I don't know how many languages do you know about, like, you know, we speak more than 400 languages, more than 400 tributes. I think you cannot list all of them.
More than 400 languages.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't look alike. They're different. Yeah, you know, like appearance couldn't be a way to identify Congolese. No. Yeah, so that's to answer to your question. That's the source of the conflict itself. The source of the conflict itself. Yeah.
Okay. When we spoke with the Rwandans, they told us that before the borders were drawn, there were some Rwandans in that place, which is currently part of Congo. They lived there as their home. That was where they were originally. So is it that now there are two groups of Rwandans, the ones which were displaced by the war and then the ones which were living there originally?
I mean, that is wrong. At least that's, I can say it's wrong. Because there's only one group, the one that was displaced. Now we're talking about Berlin. When they divide the Africa, yeah? I don't remember the dates, but at that time, it's obvious that, for example, the Congo, let's say, kingdom was until Angola and all the places around. So probably there was a cousin or an auntie who stayed in the other side. But I wouldn't say that there were people before. No. That's
because there is theory that when the boundaries were drawn in Berlin, by the colonizers, it wasn't done based on the tribes, right? It was based on their interest, what they wanted to, the part of the land that they wanted to capture for themselves.
Yeah.
Is it that there were some Rwandans who lived on that land before the boundaries were drawn, and then they politically, officially became Congolese, right? Not as Rwandans.
Not that way. No. I mean, the one that were officially called Congolese came that law came in 1960. So just the day of independence, a few days after they declare that. So that's way after Berlin. You understand? So what I said, that you said as you are Ghanaian and your tributes is, I mean, different country around, that is normal. But for example, in Goma, right, in North Kivu, which is the city, I mean, like the province nearby Rwanda, Gisenyi, there were the Bakumu. We call them Bakumu. The Bakumu is they are Congolese that have been in Goma and Nyiragongo. So it's like the city belonged to them. Then we have the Nande. That's, of course, there. I know somehow they are originally from Uganda. Like, they close to Uganda. Their language is even like, it looks like Ugandan language. I mean, Kigande or Lugande. And then we have other territories such as Masisi, Walikale, and Ruchuru. Ruchuru is occupied somehow with the one that came from Rwanda as well, and Masisi. But those are the ones that came in. Before that, no. That's a part of the natural way. That's, of course, they cut the border. Your uncle stayed in the other side. Your uncle stayed in the other side. But that's it.
If it happened that way, I don't think it's only Rwandese that have been found in the Congo.
Okay.
Then I believe that there are Angolans as well, and people from Uganda, and so I think it's like we all mixed. I think there are many people from different places then.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can see that the bigger role was played by the colonizers when they came here, and where they separate all of the entities, all of the cultures. That's how it actually happened to be this big thing in modern day history right now.